Hello and welcome to Lit Talk, the podcast where we explore big ideas through powerful literature. I'm Isha, and today we're taking a deep dive into one of the most iconic poems of modern literature, T.S. Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Now, despite the title, this is not your typical love song. There are no roses, no serenades, and definitely no happy ending. Instead, we stepped into the anxious mind of Prufrock, a man scared of taking risk and terrified of being judged by others. And to understand him, we're going to use formalist criticism, focusing on how the poem's structure and style reveal meaning. So grab your coffee and maybe measure it out with a spoon, because Prufrock definitely would. Let's begin with the structure. The poem is written as a dramatic monologue, meaning Prufrock speaks directly to us or maybe to someone he wishes he could talk to. It starts by inviting us on a journey. Let us go then, you and I. Sounds exciting, right? But instead of a romantic night, we enter messy, confusing thoughts. Eliot uses a fragmented structure with sudden shifts in topic, from love to the city streets, to time to bald spots and neckties. This style is called stream of consciousness, and it shows Prufrock's indecision. He constantly stops himself with questions like, "Do I dare?" and "Do I dare?" The poem's disorganized form mirrors his anxious personality, always overthinking, never acting. Next, let's look at imagery and symbolism. Eliot's city is not bright and romantic. It's a place filled with half-deserted streets and yellow fog. The fog almost feels like a living creature, creeping, rubbing its back on windows, creating a gloomy atmosphere that mirrors Prufrock's cloudy thoughts. Prufrock also says he has measured out life with coffee spoons. That's a powerful symbol. It suggests routine, boredom, and a life so small that he counts it in teaspoons instead of experiences. And just when he dreams about something beautiful like mermaids, he says, "I do not think that they will sing to me." Even fantasy rejects him. These images show his fear that love and happiness are meant for others, not him. Let's talk about sounds and language. Eliot uses repetition to highlight Prufrock's hesitation. He keeps saying, "There will be time," but is that hope or procrastination? Probably both. The rhyme changes, sometimes neat, sometimes chaotic. That irregular rhythm makes us feel the tension between what Prufrock wants to say and what he is scared to express. Even the poem's title is ironic, a love song, but all we hear is doubt. And then there's his concern about appearance. He imagines people whispering, how his arms and legs are thin. We hear his insecurity through his own words. Finally, intertextual allusions. Eliot references other literary works, especially Dante's Inferno and Shakespeare. But instead of comparing himself to great heroes, Prufrock says, "No, I am not Prince Hamlet." Hamlet is indecisive, but Prufrock thinks he's even worse. He sees himself as a minor character in his own life. These allusions deepen his low self-esteem and remind us how trapped he feels in society's expectations. So, what does all this mean? Every literary element, the structure, imagery, sounds, and allusions, works together to create a portrait of a man paralyzed by fear. Prufrock represents the modern individual who worries too much about judgment and ends up isolated, disconnected, and unable to show love. It may sound sad, but it's also deeply relatable. How many of us have held back because of insecurity? How many times have we thought, what if I am not enough? And that's the beauty of Eliot's poem. Through a formalist lens, we see exactly how the poem's form becomes its message. Prufrock's inner struggle is not just told, we experience it through the poem's style. Thank you for joining me on this literary journey inside Prufrock's mind. Until then, this is Isha, measuring out time, one poem at a time.